Take off real big. That big boss music, big boss music. Big boss music, big boss.
Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL.
In Detroit. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
We're going to be in. What do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 11.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, what a good football coach is looking for? Complete football players. And guess what? We've got one here because most cornerbacks, they just want to cover people. This guy shows the ability to go ahead and make tackles.
Here's Brooks. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
So what's the word I'm looking for here about how this drive just started?
Disjointed?
I'll go with that one. I mean, think about it. First down, took a bad loss on a running play. Take the sack on 2nd down. Then they got to come up with something big here on 3rd.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Brooks now from the gun, he'll throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd.
Better execution and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Trying to get it to Wheaton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Brooks to throw. Throwing on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To throw on 3rd down. Brooks got his man complete over the middle. It's Richards. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to the best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The numbers for Abdullah on the ground last week, 20 carries, 55 yards.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go back to Abdullah on 1st. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 1st and 10, Stafford letting one go deep for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And his throw is incomplete. This drive, which was going so smooth.
We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Brooks operating from the gun. Gonna let one fly for Robert. He's got a man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 45 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw. Brooks escaping the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. All right, let's discuss Amir Abdullah. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better than it.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. The 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control a game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
As we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Stafford down to throw. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's Stafford. He goes underneath to Abdullah, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Eddie Goldman coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. On second down, here's Stafford. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On third down, Abdullah. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the second quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. And they'll try the ground game here with the running backs. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on third and just a yard.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now Brooks on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Brooks. Back to the air on second down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Back to throw. Brooks trying to lay one up deep. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
36.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. So, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this one near the 25. Call it. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Brooks now to throw on second down. Open man is Hansen. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Lions have recovered. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Howard. Sheds off the tackle. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears will add on to their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the turkey leg.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
too. Turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Play fake to Abdullah. It's Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On first down, it's Stafford. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
You ready? 180.
On first down, Abdullah. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action. Stafford. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll go down at the 28. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Brooks to throw. Off play action. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Brooks looking to throw on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route, going for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Amir Abdullah gearing up now to lead this offense. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination. I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
To throw on 2nd down. Stafford throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now Brooks on 1st and 10. Miller on the catch over the middle. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Looking to throw. Brooks. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback.
Troy, 55 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. A dump off for Abdullah. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17. The Lions on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll run here. Abdullah. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
On first down, they run with Howard. And fights through one man. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say put the game. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Duron Harmon. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Stafford. He completes it to Abdullah. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. To throw is Stafford. And that's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Again, it's Stafford. Out left here, it's complete to Wheaton. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Lions on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Stafford looks to throw again. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Howard. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They pitch out to Howard. Had the nifty footwork, but only able to get it to his own 20. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. On the handoff, this is Howard. And an alley to run. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 30, 10, touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. From the 50, Stafford. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Chicago, a win the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the losses continue to mount as they drop to 0-11 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Go.
I done seen the best of them,